Let's talk about episode 4 of the Golden Bachelor. We have it all in this episode, you guys. We have a very competitive pickleball tournament. We have a four-wheeler date with a cow trough in the middle of a field as a swimming pool. Gary, your Iowa is showing, and this girl is here for it. We have a lady who is missing her daughter's wedding at the day of the filming, and they have the two of them trying to FaceTime her family, her daughter. We have an ice cream game of Never Have I Ever with questions like, never have I ever had sex at work, and never have I ever kissed another man's wife. Oh my gosh. We also have big feelings being caught, lots of kissing, lots of tissues, and lots of tears. However, with that being said, with all that excitement the episode held, this is what stands out to me, is the ongoing drama between Teresa and Kathy. I can sum it up with two words, you guys. Zip it. Teresa's feelings are hurt, and Teresa comes off as being clueless of how she's being portrayed by Kathy. Now, I don't know if Kathy is really feeling all the jealousy feels as it's coming across, but it definitely comes across that way. Anyway, Kathy has to defend herself to Gary. Gary then confronted Kathy, and Teresa's telling on Kathy, and it's just a whole mess. But you know what, you guys? Gary is there, not really intervening, but he's sitting and he's like listening to Teresa, and he's listening to Kathy, and he's really giving him the time of day, but he's trying to figure things out. And he's definitely became a really good mediator. He is really trying to figure out what's going on with the drama between the two of them. And in my opinion, it does feel as if Kathy is jealous of Teresa. Teresa is overly excited about her dates, and overly excited, and maybe not even overly excited. She's just excited, you guys. She hasn't been in love in a very long time, and she's falling in love, and she's probably one of those oversharers. Are there any oversharers out there? I know I can be that way. But Gary is like listening intently to each and every one of those girls that are having those issues, i.e. Teresa and Kathy, and he's trying to get to the root cause of it. And I'm watching Gary, and I'm like, Gary, you are doing a phenomenal job at trying to figure out what's going on. He talks with them one-on-one. He's very kind and considerate, and he's gentle with them, but he's asking questions, and he comes across as a really good dad or really good grandpa trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of what the issue is. And he is an entrepreneur, and I feel like he's had to have those skills of navigating difficult relationships with people, because a lot of times we have conflict, you guys. So Gary is doing a really good job of that. And Gary, you are presenting a lot of good therapeutic skills. I just want to put that out there. So if this new wifey thing doesn't work, you can always come on the other side and become a therapist. So later we see Kathy sneaking in on Susan having a moment with Gary. Gary and Susan are kissing, and they're having a really good time, but you can see that Kathy is really struggling with this, and you can see it in her eyes. She's talking to the camera about it. She is very uncertain, and she is very uncomfortable with where she's at with her relationship with Gary and how she perceives other people's relationships with them. So the thing that stands out to me is jealousy. And I feel like the longer Gary's on the show trying to pick his wife, that there's going to continue to be drama between Kathy and Teresa, because Kathy really can't stomach watching other people have a different relationship with Gary than she has. So is she jealous? Now, jealousy is a common emotion that happens with most people, and it can definitely feel overwhelming, and we can see it in the show. But we can also see how it's projected to other people. So I don't know whether or not, I'm not in Kathy's head, but it does feel as if Kathy is definitely jealous. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But if you've ever experienced any jealousy, let me give you some 7 tips on how to maybe make things better for you, or how to combat it, or at least cope with it. Number 1, recognize and understand your feelings. Start by acknowledging and accepting that you are feeling jealous. Jealousy is definitely a normal emotion, but it's normally how we respond to it that matters. Number 2, identify the root cause. Try to determine what is triggering your jealousy. Is it fear of losing something or someone important to you? In this case, it kind of seems that way. Understanding the underlying cause can definitely help you figure it out. Number 3, communicate openly. Talk to people or a person involved in that situation that's making you feel jealous. Share your concerns in a calm, respectful manner, because open communication can definitely alleviate those misunderstandings and start to build trust. Now, with that being said, I do believe that Kathy comes off a little strong when she is confronting Teresa. I don't know if she's, well, yeah, she is confronting Teresa. And Kathy is really laying it out there. So even though she's using this skill of communicating her concerns, I think the thing that I want to point out here is respectful. When she starts off a conversation saying, you need to zip it, you need to not talk about, what's going on in you and Gary's life. And then she gave the analogy, actually not the analogy, but she kind of put out a scenario that wasn't true to see how Teresa would feel about it. And you can kind of see her be like, in that moment. And it just doesn't feel like a really good interaction between Teresa and Kathy. I do believe Kathy could have addressed and communicated this in a little bit more respectful way to have a different outcome. Number 4, let's focus on self-improvement instead of comparing yourself to others. When you focus on personal growth and self-care, and if you set realistic goals for yourself and work towards them, this will boost your self-esteem and your confidence. And you will come off and you will probably be less jealous. Number 5, gratitude. Gratitude is so huge, you guys. Being in a grateful state of mind stops you from thinking about yourself. And it lets you have the insight of the positive aspects going on in your life. It's huge, you guys. Number 6, surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with uplifting people who encourage you and inspire you. Try not to compare yourself to others. I think Kathy is comparing her interactions and experience that she is having with Gary, and she's comparing it to Teresa's journey when they are 2 different journeys. So comparison is kind of not great for jealousy. Number 7, seek professional help if needed. Jealousy can become persistent. It can affect your daily life and your relationships. If it does so, consider getting support from a therapist or counselor. They can provide you with additional tools and techniques and strategies to help you with your jealousy. Because overcoming jealousy can take time, and it definitely takes some effort to overcome them. Have you guys ever experienced jealousy? How have you handled it? Did Kathy come off a little strong in expressing herself to Teresa? Was Teresa being too sensitive? What do you guys think? And come back next time as we go into episode 5 as we are getting closer to Gary picking his woman. Now, my personal thought is he's going to pick Ellen. Ellen is number 1. Faith is number 2 in my book. Who do you guys think in the end that Gary's gonna pick? Bye!